one of the best. You got him four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt. The World of Outlaws.
Good evening, race fans. We are live here at Williams Grove for opening or the week number 10 of the final week of season 6 of Miller Time Motorsports. And we're getting you set for qualifying here. I'm your host, Ryan Griffith. I've got Jason Haynes alongside as well. Jason Haynes, we're getting you started right now in qualifying. And we'll bring up that first car out there on the Speedway. And that first car that's rolling out there right now, that is going to be the Wrap and Stitch Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography, Redline Race Design, ABR Setup Shop, KSB Builders, One Wish Foundation, LGR Motorsports from Springfield, Illinois. That is the 56 of Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves in the 56 machine. Currently running second in the points. He's looking for a championship tonight. He could potentially get it tonight. And that first lap running an 18.89, 1889 for Randy Shreves on his first lap. Never won a championship in that 56 machine. And he's looking for a first championship through LGR. Jason, that next car out there on the Speedway is an ABR Setup Shop, LGR Motorsports, Redline Race Design, Wrap and Stitches, Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography from Manchester, Pennsylvania. It's the 46 of Steven Vogelsong. Steven Vogelsong running that 47 machine. He's had a pretty good season so far this year, and he's looking for a win on the season. He got one last season, and he's looking for one this season for Steven Vogelsong. Next car rolling out there is the Centerville Smoke and Vape Shop, Bill's Donut Shop, Westside Sign and Graphics, 3D Racing, Swartz Speed Shop from Centerville, Ohio. It's in the B14. It's Brian Wax. Brian Wax in that B14 running at 18.94, 1894 for Brian Wax. That lap was slower at 19.12 for Brian Wax. Next car out there is a Rapid Stitches Finish Line Repair, One Wish Foundation, Redline Race Design, ABR Setup Shop, LGR Motorsports from Gillette, Wyoming. That's the 10 car of Coulter West. Coulter West in the 10 machine. Coulter West still looking for a win on the season, and with it being the final night, you imagine he wants to get it done. In that 10C car of Coulter West, first lap at an 18.85, 1885. Second lap at an 18.83 for Coulter West. Next car out there is the SpeedShop51.com LCJ Carpentry, Vanderpool Construction, RK Cinematography, CT Design, LBG Graphics, and UDTV from San Jose, California. That is the 83 of Ross Kaiser. Ross Kaiser in the 83. This is his first season with Miller Time Motorsports and about to complete it. Not the season that he really was looking for here. He really thought he had a good chance at winning this championship, but was not able to do it. He is taking away a win from this season, but he wishes a little bit more and hoping for a win tonight. He turns a 19 or an 18.79. The next car out there is a Bitcoin and ABR setup shot from Hoda Racing from Des Moines, Iowa. That is the 18 machine of Zach Dykstra. Zach Dykstra in the 18 machine. He was sitting third in the points and looked to maybe be a contender, but he was a no-show last week. Wasn't able to get that car fired and to the racetrack. So he has slipped back in the point standings in that 18 machine. He'll try to rack and restack for season 7 tonight. He's just going for a win. 18.85 there on that lap. Across the line, that lap will be just a little bit slower than 19.19. I'm sorry, that was an 18.83. That was a little bit quicker. Next car out there, you know him. He's a YOB Racing, CNC Race Design, CD Cinematography, LCJ Carpentry Tech from Bernie, Tasmania. It's the one machine of Sean Stevens. Sean Stevens turning an 18.81 there. An 18.81 looks like that is good for about 5th position or so for Sean Stevens. And that next car out there is an ABR setup shop and Hoda Racing from Houston, Texas. That's the 73 of Brandon Surratt. Brandon Surratt in the 73 machine. Getting a little low there in 3 and 4. May have scrubbed the wall a little bit there. As that lap turned at a 19.29, 1929 for Brandon Surratt. Next car out there, he's been hot over the last couple weeks. That is Advantage Athletic, Valling Heating and Cooling, Malls, Trucking and Hauling, Factory Kane Jackson from Fredericktown, Ohio. That is the 4-star of Tyler Street. Tyler Street turning an 18.79. That is quick time right now. That's on top of the leaderboard. That's a quick time for Tyler Street at an 18.79 on his first lap. Second lap will be just a little bit slower there for Tyler Street. As the next car that was scheduled out onto the raceway is Jason Randolph. Jason Randolph in the 47 machine. And Jason, we got to talk about Jason Randolph here. As right now we're not seeing any camera footage of him where this is a tape delayed. But with Jason Randolph coming in, he was at top of the leaderboard in the standings. What do you expect from Jason Randolph tonight?
I expect another, consistent night. No matter where he starts, he always finishes well. He's got a bunch of hard chargers. Just a good, clean race. Good clean racer, consistent, and that's why he's leading the championship.
Absolutely. Now we see the next car that is out there. And that guy, we know him, is a SpeedShop51.com, LCJ Carpentry, Vanderpool Construction, RK Cinematography, CT Design, LBG Graphics, and United TV. From Perth, Australia, it's the 51 machine of Clayton Tilley. Clayton Tilley, of course, being appetent over the last 4 weeks, gave up the points lead, and so that 51 machine's looking for a win tonight. About every race that he's been in, he's been able to win. I think there was one race there at the beginning of the season where Randy Shreves was able to beat him. He turns lap at 18.78. That's second quick for Clayton Tilley. Clayton Tilley here on the second lap. He's looking for just a little bit more to top off Tyler Street on top of the leaderboard. He will not do so at an 18.94 for Clayton Tilley. Next out there on the Speedway is a Rush Truck Center, Napa Auto Parts, Digital Alley, Sage Fruit, Curb Records from in the Northeastern Motorsports. From Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania, that's the 14 machine of Ben Wart. And we talk about Ben Wart, the first thing that comes in your mind is Williams Grove. This is probably his best track on the circuit, and he is definitely one that you want to watch tonight. Ben Wart in that 14 machine. He ran an 18.92 for Ben Wart. Your next car out there is an ABR Setup Shop Hoda Racing from Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's the 22 machine of Brandon Boyles. Brandon Boyles in that 22 machine. First lap, he turned around at an 18.92 for Brandon Boyles. Boyles exiting 4 here, turns an 18.86. He's currently 10th on the board in that 22 Hoda Racing machine. Next car out there is a CS Racing, Nonsters Media, Luke's Bar and Grill, Motor Time Motorsports from Port St. Lucie, Florida. That's the 91 of Chris Sign. Chris Sign in the 91 machine for Luke's Bar and Grill, Miller Time Motorsports. Looking for a top 5, if not a win here. He has not got a win yet this season. He would like to have one. First lap's going to be 12th quick there on the board at an 18.90, 1890 for Chris Sign. Chris Sign looking for just a little bit more here across the stripe, and that one will be slower at 18.96 for Chris Sign. So also here, we're not getting video footage of this where it is tape delayed from one of our drivers, but that next car out there was who we have co-hosting today of Jason Haynes. Jason Haynes, yeah, turned an 18.90. While we have you here co-hosting here, you can tell us a little bit about your qualifying efforts out there, turning an 18.90, 13th quick tonight on the board. What was that like for you?
You know, it was tough coming out that late. You can see it was already starting to dry up a little bit. I was just trying to keep my momentum up kind of in the middle there. I was happy with, just staying in the 8s for sure.
Absolutely. It's been a pretty good season for you where you've came from the last couple seasons. Let's say this is a season that was more of an up for you than in the previous season. So 13th qualifying position here. We'll see later on how you fare. As we wait these other drivers, we do have a couple more drivers that we are able to see throughout this qualifying session, and then we will get it over into the heat races tonight, and that's where all the action will happen. As the heat races are 10 laps tonight, your top 3 advance to tonight's A main here at Williams Grove. And like we said before, 2 guys that you need to keep an eye on is definitely Ben Wart, Clayton Tilley. We seen Clayton Tilley in the All-Star race last night, or 2 nights, yeah, been last night, I guess. Absolutely dominating, hitting the bottom side of the raceway, and no one was able to catch him. So will that be the case again tonight with Clayton Tilley? As we've got the next car that is queued up and ready to roll out onto the Speedway. And that one's going to be the Luke's Bar and Grill, Bell IT Solutions, Intel K1 Speed, Miller Time Motorsports from Fort Worth, Texas. That's the 53 of Larry Bell. Larry Bell in the 53 machine. He is still looking for a win on this season. Had a couple good runs this season, and he's looking for that first victory in the Bell IT Solutions 53 machine. Do have 3 qualifying drivers left. We have Jeff Flaro, Troy Flaro, and Warren Samoy is the final drivers that will take time. And then we will kick it over into the heat races tonight. First lap for him was an 18.96 for Larry Bell. A 18.96 for Larry Bell. That's going to be 16th quick. Second lap will be slower than 18.99, 18.99 for Larry Bell. We do know that the next car that was scheduled out there to qualify, and we do not have visual confirmation on that, but that is Jeff Flaro. Talk a little bit about Jeff Flaro, as this season has been one that he has rewrote the record book for him, or the history books, I should say, for him. Last season, he was a guy that nobody really wanted to race around. He was very aggressive, had a lot of incident points, and he barely made it into the show for the World of Outlaws series this year. And he has done very well, kept it very clean, inside the top 10 in points, and been very aggressive with the race car, but being very clean with it at the same time. So Jeff Flaro, also now a member of the Northeastern Outlaw Motorsports that they formed this season. Jeff Flaro, he turned an 18.98 in qualifying, 18th quick. We do have visual confirmation on this next driver that will be rolling out onto the Speedway, and that is going to be a Luke's Bar and Grill and Miller Time Motorsports from Canada. That's the 3 machine of Troy Flaro. Troy Flaro in the 3 machine. We made note of this, and it's an interesting stat, is that we're wondering if the Kings of Miller Time may be a jinx or a curse on some of these drivers, as we have seen Brandon Voiles win the Kings of Miller Time, but since then has not won a race. We've seen Troy Flaro win the Kings of Miller Time, has not won a race. So that is the last wins that these 2 drivers have gotten, and that was at the biggest stage with the money on the line. Will we see that break tonight for that 3 machine of Troy Flaro? That first lap going to be a 19.31 for Troy Flaro, currently setting last right now in the qualifying efforts, coming out of 3 and 4 here to cross the line. This lap will be just a little bit quicker to 19.05. He's going to be scored in the 20th position right now. And the final car that is to take time out here, and don't believe we have visual confirmation of this driver as well, and that is the 77 of Warren Samoy. Warren Samoy making it into this season with the Outlaw series, has yet to win a race, but he could easily get it done. Any one of these Outlaw drivers are able to get it done here at any one of these tracks, and we've seen it in the past where you just don't know what can happen in these races. This is going to conclude all of qualifying session here with Warren Samoy out there finishing up his lap, and you can see that Tyler Street was your top qualifier tonight in that 4-star machine. And he's been on a tear over the last 4 weeks. He's been doing very, very well. So keep an eye on Tyler Street tonight. Clayton Tilley qualifies in the 2nd position. Ross Kaiser in the 3rd position. 4th was Jason Randolph, which secures some more bonus points. And with those bonus points, it does look like that he will indeed win your points championship after this qualifying session, as Randy Shreves was not able to top Jason Randolph in qualifying, as Randy Shreves scores in the 11th position and does not get any bonus points at all. And that's kind of heartbreaking for Randy Shreves. But now that that's over with, we are ready for your first heat race of the night. And we'll get that up on here, and we'll start your first heat race of the night. see there, starting on the pole here, you got the 14 machine of Ben Ward. Ben Ward knows how to get around this track, and you put him on the pole here, you watch out. It could be lights out early in this show. On the outside of him, you got that one machine of Sean Stevens. Second row consists of Tyler Street in the 4-star. On the outside of him, you got Jason Haynes in the 66. That final row is a pair of Luke's Bar and Grill Miller Time Motorsports Boy, the 53 of Larry Bell, and on his outside, the 3 machine of Troy Flaro. Jason, we've got 10 laps. 10 laps in this one to settle your top 3 cars. What do you think we're going to see here in your first heat race of the night?
Well, the track's opening up pretty nice. I imagine we're going to see some nice side-by-side racing. Williams Grove is always known for good hard sliders and side-by-side racing, so I imagine we're going to see a lot of that, and it's going to develop more and more and more as it goes out throughout the night.
All right, fantastic. As you've got to know a little bit about this race. I don't. You know what happens here. You're in this race. We'll call it with 10 laps is the distance. The iRacing Pace Truck lights are out. We're going to be going green flag here out of turns number 4. Ben Ward, Sean Stevens on that front row. We're about to drop the green flag here in your first heat race of the night. And your green flag is waving out on the Speedway. We got 10 laps for your top 3. Winner of this one is going to start on the front row of tonight's race. So this is key. Whoever's inside this top 3 is going to be setting himself up really good. The winner of this is really going to be setting himself up good as Ben Ward and Sean Stevens battles on. Jason Haynes there gets into the wall a little bit there on the exit of 4. As Sean Stevens looking to try to put a little bit of pressure on that 14 machine early on in this one.
Tyler Street hanging out right behind Sean Stevens, nose to tail going into turn 3 and 4 there. Ben Ward's going to hold on outside of the cushion there.
Ben Wart running just above the slick there on entry. It looks like everyone's kind of following his line. Early in on this, the track has not started to progress in the way of great racing here, as it seems to be nose to tail. Now Tyler Street kind of looks underneath of Sean Stevens. Nothing doing there. We've got 7 laps to go around Williams Grove in your first heat race of the night.
And a little bit of contact between me and Troy Flaro there coming out of turn 2.
Troy Flaro slow down the backstretch. Does not look like he's going to have the night that he's wanting, as he's going to try to put that down pit road to keep a yellow from coming out, as it's still a 3-car pull-away train up front with almost the halfway as they come to the line this time by. The halfway is here. Sean Stevens following right in behind on the hot heels of Ben Wart. And Tyler Street, he is one that's got 2 wins. He's the only other driver other than Clayton Tilley that has 2 wins on the season. So Tyler Street, keep an eye on him tonight to try to go after win number 3.
Really tight battle for this lead here. All the transfer positions, all nose to tail going into turn 1.
Absolutely. Ben, we're still leading your way, and currently, when you look at the lap times, they're running very identical laps. Here comes Sean Stevens, big hard slider there. As you see, Ben Ward gets back underneath to reclaim the lead with 3 laps to go. As you can see, that could be the last lap move there for Sean Stevens if he can get close enough to do it once again.
Tyler Street still hanging around there in the 3rd spot. They're all running the same line, though. It's really, really hard for anybody to kind of gain any momentum on each other running the same line like that.
While all these 3 are up front, you got a 2-second gap back to Larry Bell that runs in that 4th position, 1 spot out of the transfer spot, and Jason Haynes, you run in that 5th position. Back up front with 2 laps to go. Ben Wart still your race leader. As they come down the front stretch, the white flag is out. The final lap around the Speedway. Sean Stevens going to take a look underneath, and they'll try to make a little bit of contact there. They'll rub wheels. They'll go gather everything back up down the backstretch. Here comes Tyler Street. He's going to try to capitalize on that. Here comes Sean Stevens back to the inside of Ben Wart. Not going to be able to do it. Ben Wart will get your win. Sean Stevens will come in second, and Tyler Street will round out the top 3.
strong run from Ben Wirt. You can tell this is definitely one of his best tracks. He is on a rail.
Absolutely, and we've seen Ben Ward win multiple races at Williams Grove, and last season he was looking to win the season, or the race here at Williams Grove, whenever he was offered the front row challenge, and he thought, man, this is my best track, I could potentially win some big time money. So he went for the front row challenge, went to the back, and he got wrecked. So it is tough to get through traffic here. So will we see a caution-free race tonight, or full of a bunch of cautions, as we get set for your second heat race of the night? And here is what it's going to look like. Starting on the pole in this one, as you see it, you got in that front row, that number 22, that is the King Brandon Boyles the first. On the outside of him, you got that 10C of Coulter West. That second row, it consists of the 83 machine of Ross Kaiser. On the outside of him, you got the 24 of Gavin Chatham.
Starting in the third row on the inside, you have the 00 of Jeff Farrell. And looks like that's going to round out the field for heat number 2.
Yes, does look like we got a 5-car race in this one, with your top 3 advancing to the A main. Should be a pretty good show here. You got Ross Kaiser that shows a lot of speed a lot of times, but the consistency is what we're still looking for out of that 83 machine. Will it be consistent enough to pick up a heat race win here? 10 laps will decide it.
After looking at this whole field, this is a pretty stacked heat race. You know, we got some pretty heavy hitters. Chatham is no slouch. Jeff Farrell. This is going to be a good heat race.
Absolutely. It's going to be a dogfight for your top 3, especially at transfer spot. I imagine it will start to heat up.
And I mean, everybody wants to get into that dash for cash. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of extra money, right?
Absolutely. Dash for cash. You need some money. Well, I know how you can win some money. The Kingdom Miller time's right around May the 15th. $1,400 is out there on the line. These drivers could be racing and walking away with a wad of money, as we're getting ready to go green flag. iRacing Pace Truck lights are out. We're ready to go green flag here out of turns 4. They're bunching up side by side, looking for the green flag here out of turns number 4. That 22 of Brandon Boyles is on the throttle, and he'll follow to the start line, and it looks like Coulter West will get that second position. It looked like Ross Kaiser did get a pretty good restart there, as he'll look underneath of Coulter West here. Side by side.
Chatham on the outside. Chatham into the third spot, moving into turn 3 right on the cushion. Kaiser battling back down on the bottom. Making it work a little bit side by side, but Chatham's going to prevail going into turn 1.
Interesting. Ross Kaiser went to the bottom, thought maybe that's where the line is, but maybe that line just has not came in just yet, as this top side still seems to be the preferred line right now. We've seen that in your first heat races. Oh, Gavin Chatham gets into the wall hard, and somehow Ross Kaiser misses that. Goes to the inside and takes that position away. Gavin Chatham drops all the way to the back of the pack in this one.
Boyles kind of checking out a little bit. Running that middle line, not really up to the cushion, but not on the bottom either. Just kind of floating right in that, just in that moisture a little bit.
That 22 machine looking for a heat race win, and if he can pull off this heat race win, he'll be starting on the outside of row number 1. And that has to be a good feeling, not having to contend with a lot of cars in front of you. You want to win this race. Coulter West in that second position. He's trying to close the gap. And the last time by, Coulter West was the fastest guy out in the Speedway at a 19.37. 1937 for Coulter West. He is your fastest guy out there, starting to close that gap on your race leader with 6 to go. As they come across the line, we've got 5 more. The cross flags are out.
Coulter West representing a new wrap today. Just unveiled it on Friday, I believe, just for the championship weekend. And he is still catching Boyles. He's moving up. He's catching them.
Last time by, Ross Kaiser was the quickest out there on the Speedway at a 19.28. About 0.2 faster than your race leader, but Unfortunate for him, it may be too late as we've got 4 laps to go. Can Ross Kaiser do anything to close that gap even more?
Ooh, he made a good catch there. He's catching him. Does he have enough time though? Is the big question. 2 laps to go, and they're both kind of gaining on Boyles here.
About 2.5 laps to go as they come across the stripe. We will have the 2 to go here in your second heat race of the night. And like you said, Ross Kaiser is closing the gap. He again was 2/10 faster than your race leader. This is going to be the race for second with Coulter West and Ross Kaiser.
Kaiser down to the bottom. West holds him off up top. West down to the middle a little bit, floats it up to the cushion, and Kaiser follows suit.
White flag is out on the speedway. One more lap for your race leader of Brandon Boyles. He's led from the drop of the green flag. Ross Kaiser to the inside, side-by-side drag race down the backstretch. This is a dogfight for that second position. Ross Kaiser puts it in there really hard. Will Coulter West go back underneath? Not going to be able to do it. Ross Kaiser will pick up that second position, but it's going to be Brandon Boyles getting the win, and Coulter West coming home in the third.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Ross Kaiser. Into the dash, nice good starting spot for the main event.
Third heat race is getting lined up on the grid, and you can see on the front row you have second in points, the 56 machine of Randy Trees, and on his outside, his teammate, Steven Vogelsong.
Third. On the inside, we got Clayton Tilley in the 51 car. And on the outside of him, we have the 114 of Brian Wax.
And that final row will belong to the 77 of Warren Samoy. So we got 2 teams in this one, and then you got Clayton Tilley sandwiched in the middle. The peanut butter jelly sandwich time.
The big cat starting on the bottom.
We got the all clear. Lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. We're going green flag here out of turns 4. You got Shreves, Vogelsong, Chili, Wax, and Samoy. Top 3 advance to tonight's AMA. We got 10 laps to settle it.
Top 2 going to the dash for cash.
Side by side here on the front row, Randy Shreves looking for green flag. Green flag is looking, and green flag is waving out on the speedway for your third heat race of the night. And Clayton Tilley did not get the restart that he wanted. Drops all the way back into the 4th position. Brian Wax takes that position over, but here comes Tilley right back to the inside, side by side. They bump wheels down the backstretch. They regather it back up.
Shreves and Volgason to the cushion in turn 4. Shreves will lead lap number 1. Volgason right behind him. Tilley still battling with Wax for that 3rd spot down on the bottom there.
Tilley and Wax just battling back and forth. Finally, Tilley gets that position away. Here comes Brian Wax back to the inside. He's wanting to race with one of the best, that 51 of Tilley, but Tilley will take that position away, and now look at his sights on Vogelsong in that second position. Will Vogelsong kind of try to protect the line for his teammate to kind of get away with Randy Shreves in a points battle tonight. As we've already said that Jason Randolph has secured the championship, but he is still in a battle for that second position. Every position matters in the points for cash payout. As you can see, Clayton Tilley takes over that second position, and now he looks for the race lead of Randy Shreves.
Tilley making it look easy down on the bottom where everyone's riding up top. And looks like Tilley is kind of gaining a little bit on Shreves now as well. Back down to the bottom in turn 1. chews up a bunch of that lead. He is right on the back bumper of Shreves now.
You looked at the time last time by. Tilly was 2/10 faster than the race leader of Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves going to have to find something different here to hold off a hard charge of Clayton Tilly. Side by side on the exit of 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch at the cross flags.
Shreves takes the line down to the bottom. Tilly up top over the cushion, trying to get a little bit of momentum coming into turn 1. Shreves leads the lap. Through the middle, floats it up to the cushion, and Tilly right down to the bottom, and he's got the lead.
Yeah, Tilly absolutely hit that turn perfect, and that's all it took for him to take over the lead from Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves doesn't look like he can get that car down to the bottom side of the raceway like Clayton Tilly's able to do. And that car just washes up, and you can see just the gap distance. And you looked at the last time by, it was a tenth of a second faster than Tilly.
Tilly checking out, and they're kind of checking out on Volgeson. Volgeson just kind of hanging out in third. Just holding on to that bubble spot.
Absolutely. We got 2 laps to go here. They're going to come into turns 3 and 4. The white flag is out in the flagman's hand. White flag is out. One more lap for Clayton Tilly, and he's looking to be starting in that third position tonight in the A main. And Clayton Tilly enters 3 and 4 to the high side. Randy Shreves, nothing he's going to be able to do, as Clayton Tilly is going to be your winner. Randy Shreves will come home third, and the final transfer spot belongs to Stephen Vogelsong. Well, it's time now for your 4th and final heat race of the night. And this one starting on the pole in the 91 machine. That is going to be Chris Sine. Starting second from Hoda Racing, number 18. That's going to be Zach Dykstra.
Sitting on the inside in the second row, your points champion, the 47 car of Jason Randolph. Starting on the outside will be the 32 car of PJ Popham.
Starting in that final row by himself, that 73 machine of Hoda Racing, that's going to be Brandon Surratt.
Another 5 cars, 10 laps. Top 3 to the A main, 2 to the dash.
This one should be a very, very good race. As you see, Chris Sine, he's no slouch. Zach Dykstra, definitely no slouch, as he was third in points after missing last week. You got PJ Popham, that is really, really strong here. You got your points champion, the 47 of Jason Randolph. And Brandon Surratt back there, part of Hoda Racing, which we already know. Hoda Racing's been strong all season long, leading in the team point standings. Oh boy, this one's going to be a good one. 10 laps.
This is a stocky race.
The lights are out on the iRacing racetrack. We've got the all clear to go green flag racing here out of turns 4 on the command of that 91 machine.
So who you got here, Ryan? Who are you taking in this heat race?
Man, the field is stacked, but how can you not pick Jason Randolph there in the 47 machine? Anything can happen here. We're looking for green flags here out of turns 4. You got 91 of Chris Sine. He's looking for green flag. Green flag is waving out on the speedway for your 4th and final heat race. As you can see back here, they almost go 3 wide there in the first turn. And contact there. Zach Dykstra goes upside down into turn 1. Jason Randolph there on the inside gets washed up into him. As caution flag is not going to wave in this heat race, as it did look like PJ Popham got a run on the outside, and he took it, and that caused the mayhem.
Chris Sine is going to lead that first lap. PJ Popham right on his tail, and Jason Randolph in the final transfer spot.
Absolutely, Chris Sign is leading, but the last time by, PJ Popham was about 2/10 faster. You see it all over the back bumper of the 91.
Sign with contact into the wall, and then Popham kind of runs right over his right rear tire. That could have got really dangerous. And now Randolph is going to challenge Popham for second.
Oh, man, that was tight racing there. PJ Popham, he drove it in there hard, wasn't able to make it stick. He drops all the way back into that third position. But, man, there was not much you could put between Chris Sign and PJ Popham's wheel. PJ Popham drops back into third. Chris Sign, still your race leader. Jason Randolph follows there in the second position. We come to the stripe. We've got 6 laps to go.
Randolph with a run on Sign, and Popham down to the bottom. He's going to challenge both of them. Kind of washes out during the bottom there, and Sign is going to try the bottom now a little bit and float up to the cushion. And Randolph is going to get a run on him coming into turn 1. Here we go, nose to tail coming into turn 1.
Here comes Randolph with a hard slider. He'll make it work, but here comes a crossover by Chris Sign. Side-by-side drag race down the backstretch. Sign will take the position back over and try to cut back up in front of the 47 of Jason Randolph. Sign's going to leave enough room to the outside. They make contact. Upside down. Randy Shreves on the front stretch. Jason Randolph on the front stretch. PJ Popham comes out with the race lead right now.
What a gift for Popham. Sign is going to continue, and looks like he's going to be able to make the dash, but that's a tough break for Randolph. He's going to have to work his way through the B main now.
Wow, what some great racing we've seen here. Just a slight contact, and that's all it takes for these cars to go around upside down for these cars. As PJ Popham, we've seen this car up front leading a lot. The 32 of PJ Popham is looking very strong here, and he's got about a 2.5 second gap on Chris Sign now with 2 laps to go.
Popham checking out, Sign checking out. Both of them are going to make the dash. Really good, impressive run from Sign. He's been looking for this all year. He had a kind of a middle of the pack kind of year.
White flag for PJ Popham in the Northeastern Motorsports Outlaws, or the Outlaw Motorsports, as he's looking for a heat race win for that team. Coming out of turns number 4, PJ Popham handed one here in that 32 machine. He'll get to victory. Chris Sign will come home second, and the guy that started last, Brandon Sir with no wing, comes across in that third position.
Sure, it'll get a little bit of a gift after having a rough start.
Oh boy, it's time for your B main, and if it's anything like we just seen there in that heat race, it could potentially get pretty wild in this one, as we've got 16 laps around Williams Grove. And we will start it on the front row in that 53 machine. Miller Time Motorsports, that is Larry Bell. Starting second on his outside, that 00 of Jeff Flaro.
Starting in the second row on the inside, we got the 77 car of Warren Samoy. Starting on his outside, looks like we will have the 47. Your points champion is Jason Randolph.
66 machine, the NMR Fountain Tire. That is Jason Haynes. Starting on his outside, the number 24. That's going to be Gavin Chatham.
Starting in the fourth row, on the inside, we got the 73 car of Brandon Surratt. Starting on his outside will be the 18 car from Hodel Racing. It's Zach Dykstra.
Final row belongs to the number 3 machine of Troy Flaro. He's starting in the back of the B main tonight. We've got 16 trips around Williams Grove here in the B main. And this is for placement in the A main. Where you finish here will round out the remaining spots in the A main.
Lights out on the pace track. You'll be going green next time by for your B main.
So who do you got in this one? Jason Randolph, Jason Haynes. Who do you got in this one?
I gotta look at that front row, Jeff Flero. This is right up his alley, right on the outside. Don't cut out Larry Bell though. He's on a good, solid run the last few weeks and showing a lot of good speed. So it could be, a front row deal here.
I like the Jeff Flero pick as we're looking for green flag here out of turns number 4. The 53 machine is on the throttle. Green flag is waving in your B main event.
Great start from Bell. He's going to pull right out and take it right to the cushion, and Flero is going to bow down on the bottom.
Momentum will prevail for the 53 of Larry Bell. On back in here, Gavin Chatham's already made a move up into there, and it looked like Brian Wax just about got into the 24 machine of Gavin Chatham. Gavin Chatham is in that third position, following right in behind his teammate of Jeff Flero.
Chatham kind of pushing Flero a little bit here. Flero down, a little bit down to the middle, and he's going to go side by side with Larry Bell into turn 4.
Does look
and
like
now Chatham.
Looks like Jeff Flero is wanting to get down to the bottom side of the raceway to get some kind of momentum underneath the 53 of Larry Bell. Just not able to do it. Maybe going to leave the door open by his teammate. Here comes Jeff Flero with a hard slider on Larry Bell, and he will complete it. Great power move there by Jeff Flero. Back to the inside of the 53 of Larry Bell. He'll return the favor with a slider, and the crossover move by Jeff Flero, looking to bring his teammate Gavin Chatham right with him.
Got him right to the tail tank of Larry Bell. Flero kind of running a slider line right up to the cushion. Bell following suit, and Chatham is just going to take it right to the cushion and follow behind into turn 1.
Here comes Larry Bell with a run on Jeff Flero, looking to the inside here. Jeff Flero got a little loose there on the exit of 2, and here comes Larry Bell to the inside. He'll try to make it stick, not able to do it. He's hung out there in the slick. Jeff Flero will maintain that one. As you've seen, Gavin Chatham may have bounced it off the outside wall there on the exit of 4, but he regathers it back up. He's in that third position, trying to get around Larry Bell here.
And here we go. We have a battle for third as I am actually going to make a move on the outside on Gavin Chatham.
Gavin Chatham gets into the side of Larry Bell there on the exit. That opens up the door for you, Jason Haynes. It's kind of weird saying that with you talking. It's like you're commentating and racing a race car all at once. It's very, very weird.
Yes, this is kind of surreal for me, kind of cool, but Flero running down to the bottom and up to the top, and he's kind of checking out using that line. Kind of pulls out a little bit away from Larry Bell.
Larry Bell continues to run the high side there in the exit of 2, and then down to the bottom, about mid-track, I should say, there on the inner of 3, and then washing out to the outside there. You've seen Jeff Flero get in the wall a little bit, do a little bit of wheelie there down the front stretch, loses some momentum. That opens up the door for Larry Bell to get to his back bumper.
Larry Bell showing some great speed in the B main here, battling for the lead, right up to the tail tank of Jeff Flero. Flero middle, floats it up to the cushion. Bell sticking right to the cushion and staying with him.
You look on back in here, you got Gavin Chatham that has fell back a little bit, and now you got Jason Randolph that is pressuring that 24 machine here. That is the closest battle out here on the raceway at the moment. As you can see, Jason Randolph goes to the bottom side there, side by side down the front stretch. 5 laps to go, and Jason Randolph takes that position away.
Randolph moving through the B main field here, up to 4th from the back.
Gavin Chatham will look back to the inside of Jason Randolph. Jason Randolph gets a little loose there on the exit, but Gavin Chatham not able to capitalize. Now he's got Zach Dykstra on his back bumper now. Back up front, Jeff Flero still leading this one. Last time by, he was the fastest guy out there on the Speedway. He was actually matching times with Jason Randolph. Just under the 20-second mark. He was down in the 19.9s.
Randolph into the wall in the straightaway there, doing a little bit of a catwalk, and that'll leave the door open for Dykstra. Dykstra right to the tail tank there. Nose to tail, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Good battle on back in here with Hoda Racing, Zach Dykstra, and Jason Randolph. You got Gavin Chatham back there racing with Troy Flara. Troy Flara is working the bottom side of the raceway. Seems to be working for him. He's going to shuffle Gavin to the back of the pack now.
Well, still right on that slider line, and he's making it work really, really well.
Yeah, but you can see the 53 of Larry Bell has close to the back bumper. They're side by side on the exit of 4. Now the top side will prevail for Jeff Flair on this final lap.
And Dykstra makes a huge haymaker and takes out the 3rd place car and 4th place car.
Unfortunate for those drivers as Troy Flair will steal one there, moving up into the 4th position. Jeff Flair gets your win. Larry Bell in 2nd, and 3rd was Jason Randolph. Make sure you go over on Facebook, check us out there, hit that like, hit the follow, and hit the share button. And also, make sure that you go and check us out over on YouTube. Check us out there. Subscribe, follow, see all of what's coming up for Season 7 and the Kings of Miller Time that is coming around in just a couple of weeks, 2 weeks to be exact, 2 weeks from today on this Sunday evening with Miller Time Motorsports. We'll have the Kings of Miller Time, $1,400 out there on the line. All right, your Dash for Cash event is out there on the Speedway. And here's what the front row looks like. On that front row, you got the 14 machine of Ben Wart. On the outside of him, you got that 1 machine of Sean Stevens.
Starting on the inside, from Holo Racing, you got King Brandon Boyles in the 22 car. Starting on his outside, from Miller Time Motorsports, is the 91 of Chris Syme.
Starting in that 3rd row, you got 2 teammates. You got the 83 of Ross Kaiser, and on his outside, you get the 51 of Clayton Tilley.
Starting in the 4th row on the inside, we got the 56 car of Randy Shreves, and starting on his outside, we got PJ Popham in the 32 car.
All right, that's your field for your Dash for Cash event. The $5 on the line. Tyler Street's already won his $5 for fastest qualifier tonight. We'll have $5 here to give away, and we'll also give $5 away to your hard charger of the night. Lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. We're going green flag here out turns number 4 with the Dash for Cash event. Green flag is waving in the Speedway, and Ben Wart takes the early command.
Sean Stevens, good start, keeps right up to the outside of him, and he's going to take it right to the cushion and see if he can take that momentum to the outside. And he will take the lead out of turn 2. Great move by Sean Stevens.
Move Sean Stevens up into the top spot as Ben Wart starts to fade a little bit here. Surprising in your Dash for Cash event. Might have to do some work on that car to get it ready for the feature. As you can see, he loses another position by Voiles. Voiles puts a hard slider on. Ben Wart will cross it back up and take that position back away.
Tilley will in contact with Randy Shreves, and Tilley's going to go up into the wall and upside down.
I imagine there's some guys that's happy about seeing that Clayton Tilley was not able to complete all the circuits around Williams Grove in the Dash for Cash fit. Gives a money opportunity for somebody else, but Ross Kaiser, his teammate, is on a hard move, and Ross Kaiser gets into the wall there in 4.
So both teammates having a little bit of problems there. And Shreves is back into the wall again.
Shreves and Chris Sign goes upside down the backstretch. And so those guys are having some trouble. We talked about Ross Kaiser. He was on the move there, but it's about consistency here with these 305s. And we have yet to see that. Sometimes it's been luck for him to win in his first race of the season. And he's trying to do whatever it can take to win here in the Dash for Cash and made a mistake there. And he is out of contention here. But your 2 contenders right now still in this one, Sean Stevens and Ben Wart.
Ben Wart, he's staying with Sean Stevens, running the same kind of line. Stevens comes by for lap 7, 3 laps to go. Floats it right to the cushion. Wart down to the bottom, really working that bottom line, and he's making it work. He's staying with Stevens.
Absolutely, and if you look at the top of the board, you can see the times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are based on times, how fast these guys are out there running. And right now, Ben Wart has been the fastest out there on the Speedway so far. So Sean Stevens actually has been the 5th quickest guy out there, but is holding on to that race lead right now.
It's all about having that clean air Williams Grove. He's still hanging right there.
Yeah, Ben Wart goes to the bottom, really hit that turn really well and closes right to the back bumper. And you can see Ben Wart was the quickest guy out there that time by.
Stevens tried to work the bottom there, and he didn't hit it like Wart did, and Wart capitalized on it big time. He's going to make a challenge on the last lap here.
Down the backstretch they go. Sean Stevens to the top side. Ben Wart to the bottom side, exiting turns number 4. Sean Stevens in that 1M machine is looking for the Dash for Cash win here as he goes down the backstretch for the final time. To the top side of the raceway, Ben Wart, a haymaker there, and he'll slide it to the top. Not able to do it. Crossover move by Sean Stevens. And Sean Stevens is going to pick up your Dash for Cash event. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with your A main action.
Legends battle for greatness. All strive to be better than the ones before them. But only one will be victorious. The 61st NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. August 10th through August 13th, only at Knoxville Raceway. Get your tickets now at knoxvilleRaceway.com.
All right, welcome back to Williams Grove. We'll be getting started here with the A main, but this is the final night of season 6, and we'll have a nice break before we hit season 7 for any kind of points racing. We still have the Kings of Miller Time on May the 15th, so you don't want to miss that. You can also get your merchandise at dirtitv.com. Shop there for your official Kings of Miller Time merchandise, $29.99. You can get that stuff today by going over there. Jason, I got to say, thank you for tuning in with us for this final race. I know it's kind of a different kind of feel as you're actually out there racing this while we're doing this broadcast. But just want to say thank you for coming in, doing this broadcast with us, and just the work that you've been putting in for the broadcast with Third Eye TV. When we know we brought you on about mid-season, we started doing some all-star races. Can't wait for the next season to come around so we can really start to get some good content out there for all of our viewers. We got some good stuff in the pipeline. Even though we're off in the summer, we may be having some broadcasted races coming your way by different leagues in the near future. But thank you, Jason, for coming on board with Third Eye TV.
It's really been just a pleasure working with you and the admins and all these drivers. The All-Star Series, the Outlaws Series, just a really good crew of drivers and admins, and it's been, like I said, nothing but a pleasure.
Well, I know it's alleviated a little bit of work from me having to do all of the broadcasting. It takes a lot of time. I think a lot of the drivers, a lot of the fans don't realize how much time and effort it takes to put on one of these broadcasts. I know sometimes it feels like it's another job on the line, but it's all for the drivers to have their experience, to feel like it's real world racing for them. Some drivers in here are real world racers, but some are not, don't have the funds to make it happen. So what can make it as close to realistic as possible will bring a great broadcast to a league like Miller Time Motorsports and the best 305 Outlaws series out there. So drivers, fans, we greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in each week and racing with us. And we can't wait to see the next couple seasons down the pipeline. As you can see, it is time for a main action, and we will get you that lineup here. Unfortunately, my grid does not tell me the exact lineup, so we'll do the best that we can by looking at the field. Starting on that front row, in the 14 machine, that is going to be Ben Ward. Starting on his outside, that 22, that's going to be Oda Racing. That's going to be Brandon Boyles.
Starting on the inside, the 51 car, the Big Cat, we got Clayton Tilley. Starting on his outside in fourth position, we got the 32 car, PJ Papa.
Starting in that third row is going to be the 1 car of Sean Stevens. On the outside of him is going to be the 83 of Ross Kaiser.
Starting on the inside of the fourth row, we got the 56 car of Randy Shreves. Starting on his outside from Miller Time Motorsports, the 91 car of Chris Sain.
Starting in that next row in the inside is going to be the 4-star of Tyler Street, and on the outside of him in the 10C, that's going to be Colter West.
Starting behind them, we're going to have the 73 car of Brandon Surratt, and alongside him will be Steven Vogelstein.
And that next row is going to show the way of Jeff Flero in the 00, and on the outside in the 53, that's going to be Larry Bell.
Starting behind them, it looks like we're going to have the 47 car of Jason Randolph, and on his outside will be from Miller Time Motorsports, the 3 car of King Troy Flero, the second.
Next row is going to be the 66 of Jason Haynes. On the outside of him will be the 77 of Warren Samoy.
Starting behind them, it'll be the 18 car of Zach Dykstra, and beside him will be, looks like, Brian Wax.
Rounding out the field in that 24 machine is going to be Gavin Chatham. And we got 30 laps to settle it. The iRacing race truck lights are out. We're going to be going green flag here out of turns 4. Ben Moore on the pole. Anytime he's on the pole, it has to be a tough one, as he is the best here at Williams Grove. Green flag is waving out on the Speedway for tonight's A main.
Great start for Ben Wirt. He takes it down to the bottom for the first lap, first corner. Boyles is going to take it to the top, and he's going to challenge and get a run going into turn 3.
A lot of cars going side by side throughout much of this pack. You could see it just like a swarm of bees. There's a car going sideways. It clusters the guys up back here and the back. They keep it all clean. That was the 56 of Randy Shreves. Losing a lot of momentum there on the inside.
For the second spot is Clayton Tilley. He's going to come down below Brandon Boyles. Boyles is going to float all the way up to the cushion for that run. Side by side for second.
You can see cars upside down there. Being of Zach Dykstra, a couple guys look like Troy Flero involved. He was running the top side at that point in time. Vogelsong was also up there, so it was a couple guys getting involved. It was like a checkup issue right there, so really nobody's at fault right there. Just cars checking up, and then things happen just so quickly that you don't have time to react, as we are under our first caution of the night.
Randolph forward and making quick work of it. Looks like he passed 3 cars already in the first lap.
Still, you got Ben Ward out there leading this. You still have Brandon Voiles strong on the outside there of that 14 machine. He is hanging in there with the best of them, with Clayton Tilley running in that 3rd position. We seen Clayton Tilley in the All-Star race. He was very, very dominant, hitting the bottom. Do you think we'll see that late in this race here?
I think so. The way Clayton was hitting the bottom last night, I think it's just a matter of time before it happens all over again. But Ben Ward, he is really good on the bottom as well. Last night, I watched him work his way through the field like a knife through butter down on the bottom. So right now, Ward has the position, the track position. Can Clayton Tilley get by him is the big question. Can Voiles get by him?
That is the big question, because right now it just seems like the bottom, if you can hit it right, that is the preferred line around this place, and Ben Ward knows that. And so being up front, the question is, how do you get around a guy that hits the bottom so well? Is the top side ever going to come back into play?
I think it will later on in the race, and as much as I don't like to say it, aero comes into play too. So you want to try and get as much clean air as you can. You got to go where other people aren't, unfortunately. So if guys run on the bottom, it only leaves the top for you to kind of get that clean air.
Absolutely. So you may force a guy's hand by running the bottom to just go to the top, because you don't want to follow in the same air of someone else. And right now, it does not look like Ben Ward wants to leave that bottom. And it should be interesting to see if Ben Ward ever does leave the bottom in this race. As we are getting you set to go green flag here, we've got the 1 to go this time by. They're double filed up. On that front row, you still have Ward and Voiles. The second row, you got Tilley and Popham. And then you got Stevens and Kaiser.
Tyler Street is still hanging out up there, too. He's starting on the outside, so this is a good opportunity for him to maybe make up a couple spots as well. He has been on fire the last few weeks.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like it matters where Tyler Street has really started, as he seems to always be up front at the late end of these races. As we're getting you set to go green flag here out turns 4 on the command of Ben Ward here out of 4. He's looking for the green flag. We are back underway for your B main action. You're going to have 24 laps to go in this one.
Another solid start from Ward. He's going to take it right to the bottom, Voiles to the top, and Popham's going to follow with a run on Tilley. And Kaiser coming into the mix on Tilley.
Kaiser working on the top side of the raceway. Oh, we got a car in the wall. That is PJ Popham. That's going to stack things up on back in here. And yes, cars are into each other. Somehow they save it. And 2 cars go smacking into the wall. That was Jeff Flero and Coulter West. You see it right there. And they hit that wall a ton, and I will imagine they're going to call an EMS down there, because that was a nasty hit into that inside wall by Coulter West and Jeff Flero.
Probably the worst spot on the whole track to crash, right at the pit entrance where it's pretty much a head-on. That's a tough wreck, that one.
Absolutely, right into that wall there in turns 1. Jeff Flero was running well in this, just got gathered up with another car as things just bottlenecked up, and it caused just a chain reaction. What happened about 5, 6, 7 cars ahead of Jeff Flero, it finally catches up to Jeff Flero and Coulter West in there, and the caution flag is back out for the second time tonight.
And that's the thing with this racetrack. You're going so fast, even in the 305s, that once something happens in front of you, it's so hard to check up.
We'll go green flag here in just a few moments as officials look at the replay to confirm that what happened on the raceway, see if any EOLs need to be given out to any drivers. Currently nothing out there is being given out.
Flero and West have come out of the pits to rejoin the field at the tail end of the field there. I don't know how they fixed that 00 car, Jeff Flero, but it's back up and rolling.
Jeff Flero back out there and moving back here in the back, so he's got some work to do clear back here in the back. We'll see. Keep an eye on him to see how many positions he starts to gain throughout this remainder of this race.
And Randolph, remember, he started at the back of the field. He is already 11th, 12th. So he is making quick work of this field here.
Lights are still on the iRacing pace car. We will get you back underway here in just a few moments. Here at the Williams Grove track over here in Pennsylvania for the final week of Miller Time Motorsports Season 6 finale, the 10th week, and we'll have next week off, and then we'll be back for the Kings of Miller Time, the money race. We'll sign it off for the season with that big race.
Really looking forward to that one. Still unknown where we're going.
Absolutely. Down to 4 tracks now. And we will find out more on the Saturday on the 14th, where we are going. All right, we've got the lights out on the iRacing pace truck. We're ready to resume action with Ben Hort leading the way here down the backstretch underneath that iconic blue bridge. iRacing pace truck is dipping off on the speedway on the command of that 14 machine. He is on the throttle. Green flag is waving once again.
We're with another really good restart. And Tilly's going to battle with Voiles for second coming into turn 1. Great restart from Clay Tilley. The big cat got a run for second, and his teammate Kaiser is moving in on Voiles for second as well. 3-car battle for second going into turn 3.
Big
we got a wreck.
Big mayhem there on the front stretch. You seen PJ Popham got loose there on the exit, and that caused carnage back there. It looked like Randy Shreves also involved. And Randy Shreves can't be happy about that. Man, he came in second in the points, and he has struggled since the drop of the green flag.
Having a tough time kind of getting going here.
Yes, we got a lot of cautions that has happened early on in this one, as these drivers do get 3 double file restarts. After that, they do go to single file. As you see, the 56 machine is putting that thing in the pits. He's going to have to make a few repairs to that, and then he will resume to the field.
John Stevens is in the pits as well. He just got out. Look at Chris Sine running in the 5th spot. What a great run for Chris Sine.
Absolutely. Chris Sine being up inside the top 5 here on the final race of the season has to feel pretty good. And then you look just 2 cars back, you got another Miller Time Motorsports boy. And actually, if you want to know a pretty interesting fact that I heard earlier today, Miller Time Motorsports has scored the most team points over the last 2 weeks than any other team out there. So they're being more consistent out there with that team, and they're trying to do the same here at Williams Grove.
Both Sine and Bell have really, really improved on their speed as well over the last half of the season. Both of them have definitely found their stride. I don't know if they've doing some extra team testing or what, but they've definitely gained speed over the last half of the season.
I would have to agree with that for sure. I tell you, one driver that has really opened my eyes this season has to be the 4-star of Tyler Street. New into this season, and it wasn't the best start for him, and normally that's the case for most of these guys that's new into the Miller Time Motorsports Outlaw Series. Their first season is okay, and then it seems like they start to find their way about mid-season, and that's been exactly Tyler Street in a nutshell. And he's had 2 wins late in the season, and here he is. He's strong. He's here in the second row already, coming up through this field.
Yeah, he's had a really, really strong rookie season with the Miller Time Outlaws for sure. And here he is again battling for another podium's position.
Make sure everyone joins us next week on Sunday night. The time will be released later on this week. We will have an awards banquet for all of these drivers out here, and several awards are going to be out there on the table. Rookie of the Year, MVP, there are all kinds of awards out there for these drivers. So the banquet, the awards banquet for the 305 Outlaw Series will be next Sunday evening. Keep an eye out on Facebook for when that will be out there for you guys to watch. As we are getting set to go green flag here, iRacing Pace Truck has dipped off the speedway on the command of that 14 machine of Ben Ward. Green flag is waving once again out here on the speedway.
Ward with a great restart this time. Nobody able to challenge him on that one. Down to the bottom until he kind of gets up to him. And here comes Tyler Street. Big run into third place. And he's got a run on Tilly going into turn 3.
Tyler Street moving him up into that third position now, and he's now looking his sights on Clayton Tilley that's running in that second position.
And Tilly kind of catching up on the leader there a little bit. Ben Wirt staying to the bottom. Gets a little bit loose, but gains it up, and Tilly's going to come to the outside and see if he can get a little bit of a run on him.
Interesting there. You see 3 Miller Time boys right there. Just in a cluster, you got Sean Stevens, Larry Bell, and Troy Flaro all in the mix here in this one.
Boyle, Sign, and Randolph all nose to tail. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and we got a yellow flag.
Caution flag comes out for, I do believe it was Brian Wax back there, just turned it a little bit. And while all that was going on, you seen Clayton Tilley get to the back bumper of Ben Wharton. Just as the flag comes out, they make contact in the inner of 4, and no harm, no foul there. Clayton Tilley got off the gas, Ben Wharton resumed, and still is your race leader here. As we have still 22 laps to go in this one.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but Jason Randolph from 15th is already in the 6th position.
I guess that's why he is a champion of this season. I mean, he was a champion in season 4. The first, I think, 6 races of that season, he was no worse than 5th, maybe even no worse than 2nd, actually. I mean, he was just really, really good, had several wins. So we wondered, was that just a fluke season, or was that a for real season by Jason Randolph? And I think the question, or the answer to that, is absolutely. Jason Randolph is for real. He's been very consistent this season. Has not got a win, though, this season, which is crazy to me. And here you are, Jason Randolph winning the points championship with no win.
Lots of kind of movers here. We got Troy Flaro actually started at the back, and he's up to 7th now. Or 8th. He started 16th, so he's up 8 positions. Right now, your hard charger is actually me. I started 19th, and I'm 7th, up 12 positions.
Putting it on out there, Jason. Take us through some of those laps back there. Was it really hectic back here? Where were you finding the moves to pass these guys? Because it just seems like it's like a gridlock on a highway. You just can't find a place to pass, but somehow you were able to do it.
You know, it's patience and staying out of trouble. Lots of rolling out of the throttle, and it looks like we're going green here.
Green flag back out on the speedway. Ben Wart is the race command here. You see Clayton Tilley goes to the inside. Tyler Street running the top side of the raceway.
Street up to 3rd, Boyles in 4th, Randolph up to 5th position.
Good battle back here for about 6th and 7th position with Troy Flaro, yourself, Jason Randolph, and Jason Haynes. A good big cluster here. So contact with 2 teammates there, Larry Bell and Chris Sign.
A little bit of contact between me and Flaro and Randolph there. Everybody gets through.
About to get heated up here with Jason Haynes and Troy Flero looking to go 3 wide here in turns number 3 and 4. It will go 3 and 4 wide, and they make contact on the exit. Look like Troy Flero. Troy Flero trying to pitch his way in there. May not have known that you had a car below you there. Boy, oh boy, unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a tough break. Nowhere to really go. I was trying to hold my line, and Troy just had a little bit of a run on me, and he caught that right rear a little bit, and we both got spit into the fence.
Absolutely, as we are now under another caution here at Williams Grove. We still got several laps to go in this one. Troy Flero is going to put that in pit lane. You've seen Ross Kaiser flying down pit lane. He's put that in the pits. Ben Ward, still your race leader in this, and has led from the drop of the green flag, has been able to hold off Clayton Tilley, and actually there's been times where Ben Ward has been faster than Clayton Tilley here. So what are we going to see here in the final closing laps of this race, Jason?
We still got over half the race left. There's still 17 laps left, so this is going to be interesting.
Got 3 cars up here that know how to get it done. Of course, Ben Moore has not got to win this season. It's been about a mid-pack season for him, but this is his best track. He's won here multiple times. You got the 51 of Clayton Tilley. He's won several races this season, and then you got Tyler Street that has won 2 races on the season. This top 3 right now is anybody's race to be had for sure.
Yes, definitely. Can anybody get by Ben Wirt though? That's the big question. He is running extremely strong. I have seen players, or have seen drivers have a favorite track, and never have I seen a player or a racer dominate a racetrack like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see Ben Wart be so dominant at just one track, and the other ones, he was a mid-pack car all season long, and then you come here and it's like he's the obvious pick. Ben Wart, just so fast here, and you look at him, it's like, what is he doing so special here? But he's figured this place out, and he absolutely loves it. Could you imagine holding a track championship here at Williams Grove? I imagine he would be the one to beat for sure.
Yeah, he whatever about this track, he likes it, and some people like it, some people don't. It's a big technical track. Other people like short tracks or tracks like Knoxville. This is just right up Ben Ward's alley.
Yeah, and you look at the race, the other tracks on the circuit, and really there is no other track that really compares to Williams Grove. This track is unique in itself, and he's just figured it out. And very, very interesting to watch that 14 machine show these guys what it's like to be fast here at Williams Grove. As the lights are out on the iRacing pace truck, we're going to go back to green flag here in just a few moments. You got Tilley in that 2nd position, Street in the 3rd position, and Voiles in the 4th. And in that 5th position, you got Jason Randolph. They're going to restart here on the top of the raceway. Green flag is waving in the Speedway, and Ben Wart is on the throttle.
Wirt with another strong restart. He kind of leaves Tilley behind a little bit, and that's going to leave the door open for Tyler Street on the outside. Tyler Street way up to the top. He's going to even get a good strong run. But looks like those guys are just running the bottom so well right now.
And you see Clayton Tilley, he tries to go to the top because he sees that Ben Wart is running the bottom. You got to find something else that's working, and he tried 3 and 4 going to the top. May have worked a little bit for him, but it's still nose to tail with those two. About a 1/10 of a second quicker for Ben Wart over Clayton Tilley here. As we're coming to the stripes here, as we're halfway through this one, as the caution flag will wave once again out here on the Speedway.
I imagine this is fairly frustrating for Ben Wart. I imagine he just wants to keep it green so he can keep on rolling away and pulling away from Tilley, but every restart, he just has to keep getting consistent, good starts, and hope Tilley doesn't find anything behind him. That's the big thing.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, they hate when that caution comes out because it may take them a couple laps to kind of get back in the groove, hit their lines, hit their marks. And when you have to go under caution, you have to refine yourself whenever you go back to green flag. And so, was this open up the door for Clayton Tilley or Tyler Street behind Ben Wart here? We'll find out here in the closing laps here as we're at the halfway mark. We're halfway through this one. In the final race of the season, I can't believe that this is the final race of the season. Jason, it's been a fun season for sure, the Outlaw series. I mean, this is by far the best of the best iRacing drivers in the 305. You have over 7,000 iRating by Clayton Tilley there. Several guys in the 6,000 and 5,000 range. Overall, when we started this series, the average iRating in this was at 4,000. I mean, you go into iRacing's officials, there is no iRacing official out there that you can jump in a given night and find a 4,000 strength of field. It just does not happen.
And you know, it really translates into everybody learning and getting better as drivers as well. Me, myself, I'm the lowest iRating in the whole field, and it has changed my driving and made me faster by leaps and bounds having to run with these guys. So it's just a really good, awesome series for anybody who's, you know, Class D and wants to move up a little bit in your iRating and learn a little bit of things, right?
Very, very true. I mean, you look at some of the drivers that has not been competitive, like Brian Wax, but he probably loves to enjoy the competition because it does make you a little bit better. All right, we're about to go green flag. Green flag is waving out there on the speedway for Ben Wart as we are back underway.
A little bit of a different approach from Ben, where he kind of took it to the outside and then floated it down to the bottom for that start, and Tilley goes right to the top.
He did get in the wall a little bit there, and Tyler Street got the run on him, so now Tyler Street's going to look to try to pass that 51 machine.
Side by side in turn 3 and 4, Street on the bottom, Tilley up top. And Tilley's going to prevail on the top there. And Boyles down to the bottom with Randolph. Randolph and Boyles.
Good battle right there on the bottom side of the raceway. It seems like you got two cars that's running the top side, and then you got two cars that's running the bottom side. Which line is faster is the question. Now Tyler Street goes to the top side. Three other cars go to the bottom side of the raceway. Clayton Tilley trying to regather himself back up after not really getting the start that he wanted there. Ben Wart has opened up the gap by a second and a half right now on Clayton Tilley. Reminder, Clayton Tilley used to be a pro driver in the iRacing, and so to beat Clayton Tilley, it has to be pretty sweet for Ben Wart if he can get it done tonight.
This has probably got to be one of Ben Wart's best ever runs on iRacing, to be a world champion driver such as the big cat Clayton Tilley. I could only imagine the feelings he has right now trying to coast these last 10 laps through.
As things have started a single file for your top three, the next battle is on back here with Brandon Voiles and Jason Randolph. And then you got a good run here coming on with Brandon Surratt. He's inside the top 10. He's one position out of a top 5. Here comes Jeff Flaro. And we've seen Jeff Flaro get into some trouble early in, and he is up there into the 7th position. So a good comeback for Jeff Flaro in this one.
Somehow they straightened that car out after a head-on collision with that pit gate. It's running good.
Zach Dykstra battling on with Coulter West there for that 9th position. That's a battle for that 9th and 10th position. And then on back in there, you got Gavin Chatham racing there by himself. Got a little bit of a cushion over that next car back, which is Randy Shreves and Larry Bell.
While that's all happening, Randolph and Boyles are side by side racing for that 4th position.
Great battle there on the bottom side of the raceway. Voiles, he's won a race, never won a points race though. He's won the big money races. There's some contact with Brandon Surratt and Jason Randolph. That opens the door for Jeff Flaro to go to the outside of Ben Wart.
Jeff Flaro having a great rebound after that wreck.
I'm sorry, that was on the outside of Brandon Surratt as they drag race down the backstretch there. About went 3 wide there with Surratt Brandon Surratt, Zach Dykstra, and Jeff Flero.
Looks like we're starting to see the track kind of rubber down a little bit here. Everyone gravitating down towards the bottom and just kind of floating it around there.
And absolutely tearing it down tonight is Ben Ward. You can see that interval gap between first and second right now, currently a second and a half. Looks like Tilly started to eat into it, but then here comes Ben Ward starting to open it back up to 1.7 second gap.
Wirt having the drive of the season right now for himself. I did not expect to see anybody dominate over Clayton Tilley like this. This is incredible.
We've got 4 more trips around Williams Grove here, and that is getting closer to a 2-second lead. The last time Clayton Tilley got beat this bad was opening night at Volusia Speedway by Randy Shreves, and I believe Randy Shreves knocked off about 2.5 seconds on Clayton Tilley. As here you got a 2.5 second gap now with Ben Wart leading this one as he's starting to come up on lap traffic of Brian Wax.
Is that going to slow him down a little bit and give Tilley a chance to maybe kind of reel him in? He's only got 2 laps to do it. I don't see it happening, but he is going to catch lap traffic coming here and here.
Yeah, I think some major things would have to go wrong for that 14 machine to not pick up the victory tonight, as he's got a almost 3 second. It is now a 3 second gap over Clayton Tilley. And word is Clayton Tilley with this incident points are very, very important, as now he reaches just at the limit. So if he touches the wall one more time, he will disqualify. Keep an eye on that as he comes into 3 and 4 on the exit of 4. And he will smack the wall there coming across the line, and it will DQ him. So Clayton Tilley will get DQ'd out of this one. Tyler Street will come home in second. Third will be Brandon Voiles. So Ben Ward gets the win there in that 14 machine. A just dominating performance by Ben Ward, winning big time over what was going to be Clayton Tilley. Unfortunate for Clayton Tilley having way too many incident points in this one. Getting up into the 14 range, which is a disqualification. So he got DQ'd before crossing the line. He will go 1 lap down and scored into the 16th position. But Ben Ward is your race winner tonight. Tyler Street comes home in the second position, and Brandon Voiles gets a podium finish. A good night of racing for that 22 machine. He was running 4th all night long, and he brings it into that 3rd position.
How about the run for Zach Dykstra from 20th all the way to 6th position for your hard charger tonight?
Absolutely. Good run by him, and Jason Randolph comes home 4th tonight, and also Jason Randolph is your champion of the season. He has now won 2 championships. He won in season 4, and he won in season 6. You can see him whipping around there in the pits there. He's excited for another championship for that 47 machine. He gets it done tonight and wins it on the final night of racing. As you can see, just flips it on over right there. I mean, it's the end of the season. Get rid of that car.
His payout will cover that. It'll buff out anyways.
Yeah, it'll buff out for sure. Absolutely. He'll be ready to go in season 7 in no time. Finish out the round of where people finished tonight. Well, in that 5th position, it was Brandon Surratt. 6th was Zach Dykstra. 7th was Jeff Flero. 8th was Coulter West. 9th was Gavin Chatham. 10th was Randy Shreves. 11th was Larry Bell. 12th was Jason Haynes. 13th was PJ Popham. 14th was Warren Samoy. 15th was Stephen Vogelsong. 16th was Clayton Tilley. 17th was Brian Wax. 18th was Ross Kaiser. 19th was Sean Stevens. 20th was Chris Sine. 21st was Troy Flero. And that is all of your drivers' rundown of the results tonight, as Ben Ward was able to get the victory tonight. And that is all we have from Williams Grove, and season 6 is coming to a close as we say Goodbye from Dirt Eye TV. We will see you next week for the awards banquet, but we won't see you for another points race until the fall season. So enjoy your summer out there. Take some time off and then come back and join Miller Time Motorsports in Season 7. If you thought Season 6 was good, well, we've always raised the bar one notch every season. So what is at stake for Season 7? Well, we've got a lot of things already planned for Season 7. And with a nice big break, we can bring you the best of the 305 Outlaws in iRacing. Good night from Dirt Eye TV and Miller Time Motorsports. We'll see you at the Kings of Miller Time, May the 15th.